Hey DJ, guess what movie we're watching today? It's a movie where plastic characters come to life when nobody's watching them.
Small soldiers?
Nope, try again.
Chucky?
Nope, nobody gets stabbed in this movie.
The Lego movie?
Nope, wrong plastic.
Is it the Kardashian movie?
No, they're made out of plastic, but they come to life when more people are watching them. No, we're covering the 30th anniversary of Toy Story. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Couple of guys who like to watch movies, cinema nerds who made it our duty. So make a show where we break down, discuss, and review. Hey, we're the men who watch movies.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Men Who Watch Movies. My name is Alec.
And my name's DJ, the Movie Man Wagner, also known as COE of the Men Who Watch Movies.
Oh, yeah, we're back on your screens and in your ear holes for another wonderful episode of The Men Who Watch Movies. Today, we're going to talk about the 30th anniversary of one of my favorite movies of all time, Toy Story. Such a wonderful film, legendary, and it set the precedent for all animated features going forward. Technologically, just innovative. It's the first of its kind, a full feature-length animated CGI motion picture. It's all the things. It's all the everything. Wonderful, wonderful movie. But first, before we get into all of that, we're gonna do what we always do. Whoa, was that? You're tired? You're yawning?
Oh just a little bit, but I'm okay. Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. No worries
Yeah.
here. Before we
Oh,
get
yeah.
into all of that, not to get too off topic, we're going to do what we do and talk about what's going on in this crazy industry this week in movie news.
Movie news!
All right. Our first bit of movie news for you today. Actor Anthony Ippolito, known for playing Al Pacino in The Offer, Paramount Plus's series on the making of The Godfather, has been cast as a young Sylvester Stallone in a movie called I Play Rocky, where it tells the story of the making of the movie Rocky and Sylvester Stallone and how he created it, he wrote it, and he starred in it. That sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, it does.
Now, Sylvester Stallone, he isn't exactly one of my favorite actors. Like he's had some iconic roles, but he seems like a real asshat. Especially after reading the book, "The Last Action Heroes" by Nick DeSimilian. I've recommended that book to you before. I've read it; it was great, and he just comes off as a real jerk. So I have a diminished opinion about Sly Stallone. I don't know what your opinion is on him, but this seems interesting nonetheless. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the movie of Rocky is so iconic, and I don't know. This it seems like it has a lot of potential to be really good. So I might check it out. Probably not in theaters, but on streaming for sure. Does this look interesting to you?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Are
It
you
looks
fan? Are you a
interesting.
fan of the Rocky movies?
Oh, yeah, I love the Rocky movies.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I binge watched all of them because I wanted to see the what are the Creed movies? Those are really good as
Oh,
well.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Uh,
they're very, very good.
definitely. All right. Moving on. Scarface reimagined. Danny Ramirez from Top Gun Maverick, as well as the new Captain America movies. He plays the new Falcon. He's set to take on the iconic role of Tony Montana in a brand new Scarface remake. This version promises a modern retelling, re-examining the original 1932 novel for a fresh cinematic take, eschewing nostalgia for a bold reimagining. What do you think about a Scarface reboot?
Oh, that looks good.
Really? I don't
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
something that we need. I mean, there was an original film in black and white. It was more of like a gangster pick. And of
It was called
course,
Scarface.
yeah, exactly. It was Scarface, and then they remade it into the Al Pacino movie that we all know. That totally flipped the script. It set it in in Miami, you know, and he played Tony Montana, which is strange because he's not Cuban. But anyway, that's a whole another story in and of itself. But definitely an iconic movie nonetheless. And I don't think it needs another iteration, really. I mean, I think once you reach such an iconic status as the Al Pacino version, I think it's going to be hard to convince people that they need another version of it. But hopefully it's good. I like Danny Ramirez, so hopefully it's a big smash success. I wish him well. All right, all right, all right. Our next bit of movie news: horror legend Robert Englund is finally getting his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this Halloween, October 31st, 2025. Very fitting for Freddy Krueger himself. So that's amazing. It's definitely a legend. He's put in the work. He's put in the time. I mean, how long has he been playing Freddy?
I think for
For
years and years
decades. I
and
mean,
years.
he's retired from the role, but he did reprise it once on the TV show The Goldbergs on ABC. It's a show set in the '80s, a sitcom, and he had a little cameo as
Oh
Freddy Krueger.
yeah.
but
Woohoo!
but yeah, he is retired from the role. But I mean, he'll be forever associated with Freddy Krueger. Um, such a legend. I'm glad he's getting his accolades. And on Halloween, nonetheless, that's pretty epic. If I do say so myself.
Yep.
All right, all right, all right. And our last bits of movie news are sad bits of movie news. First off, actor Graham Greene has passed away at the age of 73. Graham Greene is an acclaimed Canadian First Nations actor. He passed away on September 1st in Toronto after a prolonged illness. Greene soared to fame with his Oscar nominated role as Kicking Bird in Dances with Wolves in 1990, and he helped reshape Indigenous representation in Hollywood. His rich legacy includes standout roles in Maverick, Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Green Mile, Wind River, and recent TV series like Tulsa King and 1883. Greene was praised for his integrity and his advocacy for Indigenous talent, and he is survived by his wife Hilary Blackmore, daughter Lily Lazar Greene, and grandson Tarlo. Definitely sad. What a legend on screen and off screen. He will definitely be missed.
Oh yeah. Now that you said it, yeah, I remember him. I saw Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Uh-huh.
Awesome movie.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know about this. I didn't know that he passed away, but
yeah, yeah. It's
it will be
unfortunate,
sad.
but yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, uh, we have a huge body of work to remember him by, uh, but it is definitely sad. And additionally, Scott Spiegel, Evil Dead 2 writer, has passed away at the age of 67. Genre filmmaker Scott Spiegel is best known for co-writing Evil Dead 2 with Sam Raimi, and he's a longtime collaborator of Raimi's. Also, he directed From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money, and co-founded the production company Raw Nerve, which produced Hostel. He played a key role in horror cinema and helped pave the way for indie horror hits. Spiegel's influence extended through his work as a writer, director, producer, and actor across the genre landscape. And I know you've seen it before, and what I know him from best, I didn't know his work behind the scenes, but I knew him as the pizza thief in Spider-Man 2. Remember the guy that was standing on the roof, not the roof, but he was standing on like a balcony, and Spider-Man, he left the pizzas on the balcony, and then the guy tried to
Oh
eat the
yeah.
he tried to
Now
eat the
he's
pizza,
familiar.
and then Spider-Man
Now
wet.
he's familiar. That. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now I'm getting it. I remember him.
yeah. And then
That's funny.
Spider-Man, he went back and he webbed up the pizza before the guy could eat it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
such a memorable scene. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know who he was at the time, and he's such a legendary figure in the history of horror cinema. So he definitely will be missed as well. But like I always say, they have their movies that we can remember them by, and they go down in history, and they're essentially immortal in the world of cinema. So they will be missed. All right, all right, all right. And that wraps up this week in movie news. Now let's get on with the show. Before we get into Toy Story, though, I just want to talk about, hey, what's been going on, man. It's good to see you again on a
Oh yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah. It's I've been busy, of course.
Yeah.
Painting. You know, you know, I'm trying to make lots of money because I'm an entrepreneur slash collector of movies slash this and that, whatnot, just keep him busy,
All the
whatnot,
things.
all the things. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. All right, all right, all right. Let's get into the main event. So, Toy Story. What is your opinion on Toy Story?
Good movie. It's a good movie, very funny, great casting. It's just wonderful.
I can't count how many times I've seen it as a kid on VHS. Uh, you know, I must have worn out the tape. I mean, it's one of those legendary movies. It sparked such an imagination, especially as a kid. Toys coming to life. It's such an interesting premise, but it spans back to a lot of the original shorts. Uh, Pixar, before they did Toy Story, they had a lot of different small, uh, short animated features that were critically acclaimed, and it started gaining them attention as a company, and really pushing what you could do with the technology at the time, because it was very cutting edge kind of stuff. uh, and do you know why they chose to do toys?
Oh, I don't know.
It's because it was the limitations of the technology at the time. They couldn't really do anything organic, so it was easier to do toys because when they would render the 3D models, they would look plasticky anyway. So it's like it was a natural translation. Uh, when they made the characters, toys looked better because it was something easier they could do, and it worked out great for them. Um, they used inanimate objects as a lot of their early subject matter, like Luxo Junior, which is the lamp, which is now their iconic logo. Um, they had used it because it's easy to render with the early 3D technology. And Tin Toy is another one of their big shorts that they did. Again, it's toys, easy to render stuff. So it came out of necessity, but then it eventually became iconic. But yeah, it's such a wonderful movie, and it's not only just fun, but watching it as an adult, it has a lot of it has a really good message behind it, which we'll get into. But I think it really holds up. Would you say?
Oh, definitely. It holds up well. It's good.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, Pixar is so legendary. I mean, they really focus not only on the technology, but they focus on the story. They focus on getting the right cast, like you said. They
Jim
focus.
Varney,
Oh yeah,
the late great Jim Varney.
definitely,
I
definitely.
I knew that was him, but it's sad that he's gone, but he
Oh yeah,
will be missed as a legend.
but yeah, yeah. But Pixar, man, they started as a Lucasfilm company for their computer graphics division, and they were
Oh.
eventually bought out by Steve Jobs in 1986, renamed Pixar. And of course, they have their legendary partnership with Disney. Toy Story came about because they wanted a feature-length computer animated film. They were winning Oscars for their short films, and they thought, let's see if we could push it to the max and make the first feature-length 3D animated film. Um, they had a lot of concepts. Um, they went through many rewrites. Originally, Woody was going to be more of a villain. I don't know if you remember seeing any of that in the special features, but he kind of had a little bit of that villain role to him in the final film, but he was going to be more of an actual villain,
Oh,
as
I didn't know
opposed
about that.
to a guy who was struggling with becoming irrelevant. And then his all of their character designs went through a lot of different changes, but especially Woody. He was going to be more of like a Howdy Doody type character, like a marionette, puppet kind of cowboy,
Oh.
rather than like a pull string toy, which was kind of interesting. And Buzz, the original Buzz was like a really short spaceman. It was interesting. Do you know who the original voice that was going to be for Woody?
Uh, I have no idea.
Here's a hint. He played another character in another famous Pixar movie. The green guy,
Uh,
short green guy.
um,
Give up?
I give up.
It's Billy Crystal.
Oh, Billy
Yeah, and of
Crystal.
course he ended up playing the infamous Mike Wazowski in Monsters Inc. They originally wanted him for Woody, and he turned it down. He thought it was he didn't really get the role. He didn't think it was going to be as big as it was, and he ended up regretting it after it became a huge smash hit. He talked about it in an interview how he wished that he had taken the role of Woody, but then later on, um, he was joking that he got a call to do Monsters Inc. And he's like, and I think he didn't seem interested at first. Then he heard it was John Lasseter, of course, who was the head of Pixar at the time, and he's like, "Oh, I'm doing it. I did. I missed out the first time. I'm not missing out again." So he got his redemption. He got his second chance of being in a Pixar movie, and it paid off again. But yeah, he could have been Woody, but then of course they ended up picking the legendary Tom Hanks for the role. Aside from Tom Hanks, we have Buzz Lightyear, played by Tim Allen, the legendary Tim Allen from, of course,
Woohoo!
at the time he was famous for Home Improvement, famous sitcom.
Arr,
Plays.
arr.
Whoa, what was that?
Oh, that was Tim Allen's, bark, arr, arr, arr. He likes tools, I guess.
It sounded like a walrus, but
Oh, oh, oh.
What?
I don't know.
but anyway, sorry, that caught me off guard. All right, not to get too off topic here. But yeah, he plays the legendary Space Ranger action figure who doesn't realize he's a toy at first. Of course, he has the legendary catchphrase. What does he say?
To infinity and beyond.
Yep. All right. Then we have Mr. Potato Head, played by the late, great Don Rickles. Of course, legendary insult comedian. Of course, like you mentioned, Slinky Dog, played by the late, great Jim Varney. As you know, we know him as Ernest P. Worrell, legendary pitchman, and turned movie star. But yeah, it was great when I rewatched it, hearing his voice as Slinky Dog. He played him in both Toy Story 1 and 2 before he passed away. And of course, we have a Pixar legend, John Ratzenberger, playing Ham. For anyone who knows the sitcom Cheers, he played Cliff Clavin, the mailman. But he plays the sarcastic piggy bank with plenty of snark. He went on to to do, I think, almost every Pixar movie after that. I don't know if they kept up with the with that gag, but for a while he was in every Pixar movie. He was like the Stan Lee, how Stan Lee cameoed in every Marvel movie. John Ratzenberger was in every Pixar movie in a major or minor role. And of course, he went on to be a P.T. Flea in A Bug's Life. He was the Yeti, or the Abominable Snowman in Monsters Inc. Welcome to the Himalayas. And there's so many more roles. I can't think of them all, but yeah, he is definitely a Pixar legend. And of course, we have Rex, played by Wallace Shawn. Inconceivable. Remember him from
Oh,
Princess
yeah.
Bride? He was also
Oh,
in
yeah.
Princess Bride as the I forget his name in the Princess Bride, but yeah, I love his voice. It's so wonderful, and it's perfect for the nervous dinosaur who's always bad at being scary. And of course, we have Bo Peep, played by Annie Potts. We know her as Janine Melnitz from Ghostbusters. She's
Oh,
been in many
yeah.
things.
She's so funny.
And of course, we have the mom of Andy, played by the legendary Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne, and she's also Sheldon's mom on The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that
Now
was
she's
her, but
familiar.
now that I think of it, yeah, it definitely is Laurie Metcalf. All right. I mean, this movie is it's so legendary. I love how it's one of those layered movies where you can enjoy it as a kid. Just the premise alone, the toys coming to life. It's just so fun. It sparks your imagination. But then you go back and rewatch it, and it has a lot of depth to it. It has a lot of things in there for adults as well. A lot of jokes and whatnot. Would you agree?
Oh, I would definitely agree. It's
Uh,
funny.
yeah. Oh, it definitely. I mean, so basically the premise is, so we have these toys, right, that come to life, and there, there's this new toy that comes in after, the main, the kid who owns these toys, Andy, it's his birthday, and he gets a new Fandangle toy, the Buzz Lightyear action figure, and beforehand, Woody, the cowboy, was Andy's favorite toy. And then now Buzz is introduced into the mix, and Woody gets jealous. He thinks he's being replaced, and that's where a lot of the issues come in. That's where the main story and the heart of it is, because it's about not wanting to be forgotten, really, and Woody thinks he's being forgotten. He gets jealous, and a lot of mayhem ensues because of it. So early on in the movie, we have that staff meeting where Woody is having a meeting with the other toys. We meet Slinky, Rex, Ham, Potato Head. The big news is that it's Andy's birthday, and there's also a big move coming up because they're Andy's family is moving to a new house, so they're trying to prepare, while also trying to deal with what new toy is going to be introduced into Andy's room. So everything's just hectic. Of course, we have the arrival of Buzz Lightyear. Buzz gets unwrapped. He's shiny, confident. He doesn't realize he's a toy. That's the thing. All the other toys know that they're toys. They know their place in the ecosystem of life. Buzz, for some reason, he's the one toy that doesn't realize he's a toy. He actually thinks he is a space ranger. So there's a lot of comedy that ensues from that. Woody is always trying to convince him. He of course, he's annoyed at him because Andy prefers him over Woody, and even though Woody's been his favorite toy since Andy was a small kid. Buzz is basically that one guy at work who thinks he's the boss after one day. He comes in, he thinks he knows better. Of course, and then I love that sequence when Andy starts favoring Buzz. Everything starts changing. Of course, we have the wonderful music by Randy Newman, the intro song, "You Got a Friend in Me." What do you think? What do you think about?
Oh, it's just so fun, Randy Newman is so funny. It's just so fun, just so funny, just a really, really good family movie.
Definitely, definitely. And of course, he has that song. He has like 3 songs in this movie. Of course, there's a song when Andy starts switching over his room into Buzz Lightyear memorabilia. Strange things are happening. And then Woody's just getting more and more concerned. He's getting pushed out of the way. Of course, he gets jealous. And one day, Andy and his family are going to go to Pizza Planet. And so he decides that he's going to try and get Buzz out of the way. But then he accidentally knocks him out the window, and the other toys, they get really upset because they thought that was his plan all along, was to kill Buzz and get him out of the way. And all the toys turn on Woody. And of course, Woody realizes his mistake, and he goes to try and find Buzz. So eventually, Woody and Buzz have to get back to Andy and his family. They remember they're going to Pizza Planet, so they have to find a way to get to them. They eventually come across a Pizza Planet truck, and so that's when they sneak in the truck and they head over to Pizza Planet. And of course, there's that funny scene when Buzz he's bold enough to get into the front seat, and Woody's like freaking out. He's like, "You're gonna be seen! Like, what are you doing?" And Buzz is like, "Hey, there's no restraints in the back. Safety is like my first priority." So he goes and buckles himself up in the front seat, and then Woody's hiding in the back, and he gets crushed and thrown around. And then finally they get to Pizza Planet. They get out, and I always loved Pizza Planet. I wish it was real. To this day, it looks so fun. Did they ever make like a real Pizza Planet, like at Disneyland or something?
I don't think they have. I'm not
I
sure.
wish it was a real pizza chain. It looks so fun, man. One of my favorite aspects about Pizza Planet, I love the dispensers for, like, I think it's like ices or whatever, but they look like aliens vomiting. I always thought that was fun. It looks like an amazing place. I want to go there. But yeah. And of course, we have the funny scene with the claw machine. Buzz thinks he sees an actual spaceship, and he gets excited, so he runs over. It turns out it's a claw game, and he goes in and he sees there's like these little squeaky toys that look like aliens, of course. And so Buzz goes in, and all the aliens are mesmerized. I love those little characters. Ooh. And of course, they think the claw is their overlord, and so Buzz uh, goes inside of the claw game, and then Woody goes chasing after him. They get stuck in the claw machine, and just so happens that the evil neighbor Sid, who loves destroying toys, he happens to be playing the claw game at the time, and he ends up picking up Woody and Buzz out of the claw machine and takes them home. Much to their horror, they get trapped in his room, awaiting torture unimaginable. Sid is such a scuzz, um, and of course we get some of the most horrific scenes that to ever come out of a children's movie. The scene in Sid's room with all the creepy toys. Did that scene ever
Oh, I
creep you
remember
out as a kid?
kind of,
Yeah,
it was so different because I didn't know anything about it. It was like I thought it was like toys. I didn't know it was gonna.
yeah, it was so
I don't
creepy.
know.
Like Sid, he loves like mashing the toys together, creating abominations that are so freaky. Like that doll head that he ripped out all the hair, and there's like it's like missing an eye, and it has a claw, like a. It looks like he used an erector set to make some kind of weird, creepy spider body, and it's just horrific. And then you have like that weird that that decapitated head on a roller, and with it has like hands. Looks like Mickey Mouse hands or some shit, and then and you get all these this duck creature with the suction cups. I don't know. I don't know what he's been doing in there, but he's the kind of kid that turns into a serial killer for sure. But yeah, I mean, watching it as a kid, it's kind of terrifying. But I think the amazing thing about that scene is that all of those creatures, they turn out to be very kind-hearted, and I think it's a good lesson on don't judge a book by its cover. Um, I thought that was really brilliant, and of course, they end up helping. And they end up helping Woody and Buzz in their mutiny against Sid in that epic scene when they all because he's about eventually his end goal is to blow up Buzz. He has some kind of rocket that he's gonna attach to Buzz and blow him up, and so they have to figure out what to do. And so their only option is to scare the shit out of Sid. And I love that scene when they come out of the mud. All the toys that Sid had mutilated. They're hiding in the mud. They come out like zombies attacking him. And of course, I love how it starts though. That scene where you just hear Woody saying, "Reach for the sky," and then he's starting to freak out. And all of a sudden, Woody starts talking to him, like in very he thought Woody was busted at first, but then he starts saying his name, and then he starts tripping out, and all of a sudden Woody, his head starts spinning around like the freaking what's that movie? The Exorcist.
The Exorcist?
Yeah. And then just Sid's tripping balls, and all of a sudden he actually speaks to him. So play nice, and then he just screams his head off, and then it's a little redemption for Sid's little sister because he was always a jerk and he always mutilate and rip up her toys. And after he got scared by Woody, then she had a little fun chasing chasing Sid around with her doll because he was terrified of all the toys now. I thought that was funny. There's one scene I forgot to mention when Woody and Buzz are still trying to escape Sid's house. Buzz at this point still thinks he's a real life space ranger. He believes he can fly, and so he's trying to escape. And I think at this point he's trying to attempt to fly out the window. And Woody's like, "Are you insane? You can't fly. You're a toy." And then so Buzz, there's that epic song, another epic song by Randy Newman, when Buzz gets up on the railing and he's about to try and fly out the window, and then the song swells. It's got confidence. Buzz believes he can really fly and he's gonna escape Sid's house. And then all of a sudden he realizes as he's gliding through the air that he's actually falling. And then he tumbles to the ground, breaks his arm, and it's one of the saddest scenes in the movie because everything that Buzz thought he knew about himself came crashing down at that moment, quite literally. and he had a crisis of identity because he's like, he believed strongly that he was who he thought he was. He thought he was Buzz Lightyear, and even earlier in the movie, he saw a commercial for a Buzz Lightyear toy, and it had it kind of threw him for a loop because he realized that Woody, telling him that he was a toy, was the truth. But then he had that moment of confidence that maybe I am what I think I am, and then he realized, no, I'm not, and that really hit hard, that scene. And then of course, after that, um, the little sister finds Buzz, remember, and then she starts playing with him since Sid took her doll. He decided to. She decided that she was going to play with Buzz, and so she dresses him up in a little outfit. And then Buzz is just at this point he's mentally broken, and so Woody goes to find him, and he thinks he's he thinks he's someone named Mrs. Nesbit. I love that scene. He's wearing like a little hat with a flower on it, and he's wearing some kind of like apron, I think. And he's like, "I am not Buzz Lightyear. I am Mrs. Nesbit." I love that. I love that scene. But yeah, and so eventually Woody and Buzz have to get away from Sid's house and meet back up with Andy because it's moving day. So they escape the yard and they go back. They're just a little too late because Andy's family car is pulling out of the driveway. It's heading out down the street. They just missed them. But luckily, the moving truck is following right behind them. They're trying to get away from Sid's dog named Scud. So they're being chased by Scud. And Woody and Buzz get up on the moving truck. But then Buzz, I believe he like sacrifices himself, right, to Scud so that Woody can get away. And then Scud is attacking Buzz. And then so Woody goes into the moving truck and all the toys are there. They're still mad at him because they think that he murdered Buzz. And so he goes and grabs RC, the remote control car, and he has a plan to try and use RC to get Buzz. And so he throws RC out of the back of the moving truck, and they think he's trying to murder another toy. And so they start losing their minds, and they get in a fight with Woody, and they end up throwing him out of the moving truck. And then so he drives RC over, and both Woody and Buzz get on top of RC. They're driving away from Scud. I love that chase. Is very kinetic, very action packed, and but unfortunately, RC runs out of juice. But luckily, right before that, there was a car accident that happened that trapped Scud in a 4-car pile up, I guess you could say. And so Scud is trapped. He's no longer a danger, but you have RC running out of juice, and Andy and the moving truck are getting away further and further, and they have no idea how they're going to catch up to him. But luckily, Buzz has a rocket strapped to his back. They have the idea initially to light the rocket as a way of propelling them towards Andy and his family. But then, unfortunately, they come to the realization that he has a rocket strapped to his back, and rockets explode. And so there's that epic scene where they're flying through the air. They actually start to lift up, and they take RC with them briefly, but luckily they let go, and it propels RC into the back of the moving truck. Woody and Buzz are flying through the air, about to explode, but luckily Buzz, at the last second, he pops his wings, and it breaks the duct tape holding the rocket to his back, and the rocket explodes above them. They're safe. And I love that scene because, earlier Buzz tried to fly and he ended up falling and breaking his arm, and he was at his lowest point. But I love his redemption in this because even though he can't fly, he's still able to prove his worth as a toy. And early on in the movie, when Buzz first got introduced into Andy's room, he tries to prove that he could fly, and it turns out he lucked out and he got caught on one of Andy's toy airplanes that was hanging from the ceiling, and he proceeded to like fly what looked like fly around the room, and it felt like flying to him. He ends up landing and doing a perfect a perfect picture perfect landing. And then Woody's all angry. He's like, that wasn't flying, that was falling with style. And that line ends up coming back after Buzz uh, gets rid of the rocket, and they start falling back to the ground. Buzz's wings help him glide over to the moving truck, and then Woody's all surprised. He's like, "Buzz, you're flying!" And then Buzz says, "I'm not flying. I'm just falling with style." I love it. Such a good redemption for Buzz, even though he's not who he thinks he was. Uh, he still can be a great guy. And then he glides them over to what he thinks is the moving truck. But then he's worried because they start going past it, and he's like, "Buzz, you're gonna miss the truck." Then he's like, "We're not aiming for the truck." And then he flies him over to the sunroof in Andy's mom's car, plops him right down next to Andy. They get reunited. Eventually, we cut to a flash forward during Christmas time. Andy's new house. They're all huddled again together, just like the beginning of the movie when they're having a big meeting, trying to figure out what new toy is going to get introduced during Andy's birthday. They're doing the same thing, but except it's during Christmas time. And this time, Buzz is the one that's worried about what new toy is going to be introduced, because the whole thing's going to start all over again. But it turns out it's not a toy that gets introduced. What's Andy's big present that year for Christmas?
Uh, uh, one of the army toys.
No, remember, he gets a dog.
Oh,
And
he gets dog. Oh yeah, the dog.
That's the last. That's the last uh, scene in the movies where you hear Andy going, "Wow, a puppy!" And then they're worried because now that's the new introduction into the world of Andy's room as a puppy. But eventually, he becomes a good friend of Woody, and he rides him around like a horse. But that's a whole nother movie. But such a wonderful movie. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you say this movie holds up?
Oh, definitely. It's very, very good.
Definitely, definitely. It still resonates today. It has nostalgia, but it also has a timeless story. When I think about movies that shape not just childhoods, but the entire way we think about animation, Toy Story is always the top of the list. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's been 30 years since Pixar took a gamble on a fully animated film and created something that still feels alive today. I think what makes Toy Story so special is that it's not about the flashy technology per se, but it's about the heart at the core, and it's a story about friendship, jealousy, belonging, and also the fear of being replaced. And honestly, I think those are the feelings that we all understand, right? I mean, it's like no matter how old we get, those are things that we feel every so often. Watching Woody and Buzz go from rivals to brothers it's one of those like arcs that hits really hard the older that you get. As a kid, it was fun, just seeing the Cowboys, Space Rangers, the toys coming to life. I mean, I think that was like one of the main things that was exciting watching it as a kid. Um, but as an adult, it feels deeper, right? It feels like Woody's fear of being forgotten, Buzz realizing he's not who he thought he was. It's kind of a mirror of growing up, figuring out where you belong, and learning that life changes, but friendship is the thing that stays behind. It's the thing that lasts the longest. And of course, there's the nostalgia factor. And of course, I mean, I love Randy Newman's music. It's amazing. It instantly takes you back when you hear it. It's to wearing out that VHS tape, watching it over and over again as a kid, wishing that your toys would come to life. I mean, looking back, it's not just a movie. It's about it's like a cultural movement. Almost, honestly, it's like it showed us what animation could be, but more so, it's like it reminds us that the simplest stories, told with sincerity, they'll endure forever. I mean, it's become timeless. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely agree. It's a perfect way to say things about a movie. It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, and it's 30 years later. I mean, it's still enduring, and it reminds us that even when life changes, friendship can be consistent. And then I think that's the key of the story is that you got a friend in me. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
So, what would you rate this movie?
I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10.
Normally
Woo!
I don't rate anything a 10 out of 10, but it's one of those 10 out of 10 movies. It's not only is it good, but it's one of those industry changing movies. You know, it's definitely hits on all cylinders. It's legendary, I would say. Yeah, it was wonderful talking about Toy Story. It brings back so many good memories. I have, over the years, I had collected all the toys as a kid. Unfortunately, I don't have most of the original ones that I had, but I'm starting to recollect them. I found a Buzz Lightyear at the thrift store the other day. I also found a Slinky Dog, so I'm slowly trying to recollect them all. But yeah, I mean, it was just fun. I remember playing with all those toys. I remember you had a Buzz Lightyear as well.
Oh
I
yeah, I don't know
remember you
where it
had.
is.
I remember you had. It was like an alternate version Buzz Lightyear, though. It was like a shiny. It was like a shiny metallic Buzz Lightyear, which was kind of
Oh
cool.
yeah, I don't know where it is nowadays.
That was badass. I remember that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun going back in time, remembering that movie. It was a wonderful movie. Can't believe it's been 30 years. What came out 95. I was 5, and you were what, 4?
Oh yeah, it was like a really long time ago, but such good nostalgic memories.
Well, I believe that wraps up another episode of The Men Who Watch Movies. Thanks for joining us today. Remember to keep exploring, keep laughing, and remember to take your adventures to infinity and beyond. My name is Alec,
And my name's DJ the Movie Man Wagner, also known as COE of the Men Who Watch Movies.
and we want to remind you all to
Keep
keep on watching. Thank you, everybody.
watching.